Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Ron Bayron podcast where we empower entrepreneurs and business owners to win and succeed. It's been a while since we've had another episode, but today is really, really special because today we're taking in questions and requests from our audience. And for today's question, it's going to be really, really interesting and really, really exciting. And to help me answer the question for today, we have, of course, part of our team, Miss A and Pastor Ron Bayron, our CEO of the ABBA Initiative. Welcome once again, guys, and thank you so much for joining me today on the Ron Byron podcast. It's been a while. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah, thanks,
Doing
Mike.
awesome.
Thanks, Mike, for inviting us here again. And it's just so amazing how time flies so fast, and there's so many things to talk about. No, that's why I'm so excited about this time also together with Miss A.
Absolutely.
Yes, Pastor Ron. Glad to be back, Michael, and we're very interested. What questions do we have today?
I'm very excited to share it with you guys. And before we get into the main question, we do want to do something that we haven't done yet before on this podcast, which is a bit of an icebreaker question, just to get everybody comfortable on what we're about to do. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the icebreaker question. The first question I have for you guys is, if you could have a fictional character from any movie to be your business partner or employee, who would that be? Who would like to go first?
I'll
Ladies
go first.
first? Yeah.
Immediately.
All right, go
Yeah.
ahead, go ahead.
The shows I recently just watched, the movie Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel, played by Vin Diesel, because he's so into families, and if you feel like your faith is faltering, he'll just show you his cross necklace, and say, "Nothing is impossible. Just have faith." It's so
Nice.
Yeshuan, right?
Yeah,
Nice
it is.
one.
It is. I love that. That's cool. How about you, Pastor Ron?
How about you, Pastor Ron?
Yeah, I like that, Miss A. Okay, let me think. Easily comes to mind Ethan Hunt. Okay.
For Mission Impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
With Tom
Okay.
Cruise, of course, no? My idol,
You're a big
because
fan.
Ethan, big fan. Ethan Hunt always has a way, no? Always finds a way to every problem. I forgot the name of of this member of his crew. Luther.
Luther, yeah.
Old Luther. He always says, Ethan will always find a way. Okay, so don't you want that? No, don't you love that, to have that partner or employee in your team?
Absolutely.
When there's whatever problem or challenge you will face in the business, you will have always someone who will find a way. All right, so that's why it's Ethan Hunt for me.
Ethan Hunt, such an amazing guy. I love his character, and just like what you said, he's always finding solutions. He actually has an upcoming movie this coming July, I think, and I'm very much excited to
We're
be watching
plugging.
that. Yeah, I mean we're fans. I'm
We're
a
not being
fan,
paid.
so
Yeah, me
might as
too.
well.
Me too.
Might as well plug that in. All right, thanks guys for your response. All right, for our last icebreaker question, this question is, if you had the power to instantly solve one global problem with your business, what problem would that be and why?
Sounds like a Miss Universe question. Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, fine. It's kind of a complicated one, but again, if you had the power, right, to instantly solve one global problem with your business, what would that problem be and why?
I'd like to take this on with a Miss Universe answer. I do believe that the problem that I want to solve is the world peace through business peace. Through ABBA Initiative's transformation by transforming one business at a time. And that is all. Thank you.
Hey,
Okay, how about that?
Very Miss Universe response.
How about you, Pastor Ron? Can you do a Miss Universe response?
No, of course not. That's very difficult. I'm impressed, Miss A. I think you really fought for Miss Universe candidate. Okay.
Wow. Yes. Amen.
Yeah. Well said, Miss
Thank
A.
you, Jesus.
Yeah. Actually, it's a very difficult question. Although we have so many problems. Yeah. If there's one that I want solved, okay. Let me just be spontaneous here. Of course, it's money problem. Okay. I want to solve the money problem. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Businesses always want to solve the money problem. So, yeah, that's my answer.
Cool.
I think.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll take that. It's not quite Miss Universe level, but I mean, it's still very candid. Thank you so much, guys, for your wonderful response to those icebreaker questions. All right, so now let's jump right into the main question that we have for today's podcast. This question comes from one of our audiences, actually, who listened to our podcast. Her name is Michelle Ann Bernaldez of Delfingen, PH Cavite Inc. And she asks this question to us. I would like to ask for techniques on how to make our business grow and succeed. So that's her question. What are techniques, right, to help you make your business grow and succeed? That's quite a general question, right? But I think we can give her something that would hopefully give her the first initial steps to help her business, and also her team to take those initial steps to make their business grow and succeed. So, who would like to take on this question first?
Yeah, Mike. Thank you for that question. No, from
Michelle.
Michelle. Yes, thank you, Michelle, for that very actually simple but very loaded question. Um, how to make our business grow and succeed? And you see, in today's digital age, there's so many information available. No, there's an abundance of advice, in fact, that you can get online, and even advice on how to grow business, how to succeed, the techniques. No, there's so many numerous ways to learn these things. And of course, they will help. No, definitely they will help. And if you're into doing research, I encourage you to do much research. It will really help you. But there's one thing that really stands out, and in fact, I'm biased because in my own experience, this has always been a differentiating factor, no, of my success. No, by God's grace, I experienced success with a big help on this approach. What is that? Strategic planning. You know, uh, strategic planning will help you. No, and in fact, the plan will serve as a guide, no, as or your guiding compass to bring you forward to success. And many people, they have a wrong or a misconception of strategic planning. No, actually, instead of preparing a strategic plan, they prepare an operating plan. No,
Mm.
and I don't have time to discuss that. But the point here is, for a strategic plan, in contrast, I'll just give you a quick idea. In contrast to an operating plan talks about how to implement. Um, what is the budget, for example, or what's the sales target? No, that's implementation. That's operating. When you operate or run the business, a strategic plan is supposed to create a difference. You know the saying, I think it's Albert Einstein who said, um, crazy is defined as something that where you do something over again, no? The same thing over and over again, and you expect a different result. That's operational. Okay, where
Mm.
you use the system to implement something over and over again, and you cannot expect a different result because you're doing the same thing. In other words, that is not strategic. When we talk of strategic, you have to do something that's different, that's new, that will create a difference and will bring a different result. So the idea here is, if you really want to grow your business and make sure you succeed, of course you try things, right? As you start the business, you try new things, you do this, you do that, and in the process, you change. In the process, you develop new ways of doing things, and that's what we call strategy. So when you say do a strategic planning, you ask yourself, what new or different thing should I do this time that will bring me success that I was not able to do before? That's why I was not that successful, or I may have been successful, but I want to grow more or be successful more. No, so with that in mind, embracing strategic planning will help you navigate challenges, and especially this. Take note: seize opportunities. Very critical. No, challenges are actually opportunities, no, in disguise. So with a strategic planning framework, no, or you have a strategic plan, it will help you identify those opportunities that will bring about a different result. And of course, because it's a plan, no, you have put things on paper as clearly as possible. You will be focused, no, on that growth strategy, no, where you think you will make a difference. And imagine this: if you have a strategic plan, that becomes the foundation of your decisions, of your choices every single day. In other words, when you now start implementing, no, your strategy in the operational level, the strategy becomes a guide to make decisions whatever you need to change in your operation. You optimize resources based on strategy. You develop people or invest on resources based on the strategy that will spell the difference in how you do business. Ultimately achieving sustainable success in a very competitive landscape that where we are today. Now,
Hmm.
sorry for a very long answer, but let me just mention this, very important, because probably in your mind you're thinking, but I'm not a general person, I'm not a strategic person. Uh, I don't know how to develop a strategy. Okay? And no experience about business or even about leadership. So will a strategy be applicable to me? Well, I'll give you a straight answer. It's a definite yes. In
Hmm.
fact, if you have no training, no experience in running a business, no leadership experience, the more, I'm saying this again, the more you need to have a strategic plan. No? And in fact, I encourage you, no? Especially those who are not confident about, having uh, about running a business or without leadership skills or experience, I encourage you avail yourself of a strategic planning workshop. And in fact,
Hmm.
let me just mention this. I hope you won't mind, but let me mention this, that that's exactly what the ABBA Initiative intends to do, no, or to
Yeah.
address. Help entrepreneurs who need help in developing strategies, no, that we will help them develop those strategies that bring a different result towards success. Yeah, I hope that helps.
Yeah.
Michelle, no?
So
Yeah.
since we're on the topic, Michael and Pastor Ron, thank you, Pastor Ron. If I may just connect with that. Thank you, Pastor Ron, for you know asking an important question for business owners who have no experience, because we just recently concluded, and we're just plugging this in, our strategic planning workshop that recently concluded last May. And it was a room full of micro business owners, startup business owners who basically have been in the business for a long time
Hmm.
but really need to know the strategy. It's like they're coming from zero. They're coming from, from scratch.
Hmm.
And it's the ABBA Initiative's advocacy for every business to grow and succeed. So Michelle, thank you for your question. That's what we're hoping to do. And so we built a program around this advocacy, which includes strategic planning workshop. And we hope to open another workshop again soon, right, Pastor
Yeah.
Ron and Michael?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, the goal is actually to make it so accessible. So we're, by God's grace, hoping, setting it up to be available online. So these are for everybody, especially for those of you, like what Pastor Ron said, especially if I have no experience. So we're really looking forward to that next workshop. Michael?
Cool. Thank you so much, guys, for those responses. And from what I've gathered, right? So the main core, the main foundation to every business that would help them grow and succeed always starts off first with a plan, and specifically the strategic plan. So it becomes the very foundation of the business in order for them to analyze and understand what steps they need to take in order to improve, in order to make progress, and of course, eventually to grow and to succeed. So I think that's like a very key and fundamental uh, activity that every business should do, and that is to establish their strategic plan for the business. For us, for example, here at the Alba Initiative, we did a strategic planning every almost every year now. I think the last one we did was at the beginning of this year in 2023. and that really helps set the tone on what future we're looking for, what future we wanted to see for our company within the next 2 to 3 years. It also helped us to establish what goals and OKRs we wanted to set. That would help us reach that goal that we had for the next 2 to 3 years. So having that strategic plan was very crucial for us in order to understand where we were headed and what steps we needed to take to get there. And yeah, so that's the key then for every business owner: establish your strategic plan. And good thing is that here in the ABBA Initiative, that's exactly what we're doing, helping businesses and entrepreneurs get their strategy for their business. And just like what you said, Miss A, we hope to get it to as many businesses and entrepreneurs as we can soon, really, really soon. And so, yeah, does anyone want to add like their closing thoughts on this before we close?
Yeah, maybe Michelle, no, and those the rest of our friends, no, online. Really, no, you cannot take for granted or overemphasize the importance of a strategy, no, and a plan, no, a strategic plan of that, because you really make a difference in where you're going with a strategic plan.
Yeah. How about you, Miss A?
Yeah. And Michelle, and for everybody listening out there, you can never be too young or too old a business to continue learning. It's a never ending learning process. And here at the ABBA Initiative, we've got a whole program. And this podcast is part of the program of training you. So it's all about training. So keep training, keep asking questions, and keep learning.
Yes.
Back to you, Michael.
That's so true. Thank you so much, guys, for your wonderful thoughts on this and for giving this wonderful response to Michelle's question. And that concludes for today's podcast. Thank you so much, everyone who's listening today. We hope that you have learned something new on this podcast, and we can't wait to see you next time. Before I let you go, make sure to follow us on our social media at the ABBA Initiative. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and also on YouTube. And don't forget to go to our website at www.theabbainitiative.com, sign up for our newsletter, and also email us at ceo@abba.works with your questions, and we will feature them on our next upcoming podcast. Also, thank you so much again to Michelle and Bernaldez of Delfingen-PH Cavite Inc. Thank you so much for your question. Make sure, guys, to follow them as well on their social media at Delfingen. That's DELFINGEN. Thank you so much once again for tuning in, and we can't wait to see you next time. God bless you.